there's a stark and unsettling truth that only a brave few are willing to voice aloud. Across the United States, and especially in nations like Mexico, countless individuals dedicate their entire lives to relentless work, driven solely by the need to pay their bills. This isn't an overstatement. It reflects the reality of millions who rise before the sun, confront chaotic traffic, withstand the clamor of their workplaces, tolerate bosses who fail to recognize their worth, and return home with exhausted bodies and hollow spirits. These are people who, deep within, have surrendered their dreams, resigning themselves to a grueling survival routine they've come to see as their unchangeable fate. Have you ever paused to reflect on the sheer number of dreams we sacrifice just to keep a roof over our heads? How often have you promised yourself someday, only to watch that day slip away unnoticed? We find ourselves ensnared in an endless cycle, a wheel that spins without mercy. Worse still, we've been conditioned to believe this is the natural order, that sheer hard work is sufficient, that if we fulfill our duties, prosperity will follow. Yet, no one warned us that without grasping how money operates, we'd spend our lives laboring for those who do. So, is it truly worthwhile to live a life that feels borrowed, one that doesn't reflect your own desires? How much longer will you permit your days to dwindle into a mere struggle for survival? The journey begins with Mission 1, reprogramming. This transformation starts not with a salary increase or a shiny new credit card, but with a single, powerful tool, awareness. Not a fleeting or surface-level awareness, but a raw, honest, and deeply uncomfortable self-examination that strips away all pretense and forces you to confront your true self. Picture Jorge, a 34-year-old delivery man from Iztapalapa, juggling the demands of daily life with children, unfulfilled dreams, mounting debts, and a weariness that has built up over time. One night, as his son murmurs in his sleep about wanting to attend college, something within Jorge shatters. His love for his son is boundless. He'd move mountains for him, but he can't even afford a new backpack. That night, sleep eludes him, not due to the heat or the street noise, but because a spark of realization has ignited within him. It's that same restless feeling you've experienced countless times, one you've hushed out of fear. That nagging question you've dodged: am I constructing a future or merely enduring one day at a time? Reprogramming ignites when you cease pointing fingers at the government, your past, or luck, and instead embrace full responsibility for what lies ahead. Yes, this process stings, but that pain is essential. It's the flame that forges transformation. If you fail to shift your mindset, the system will shape it for you, keeping you compliant, bewildered, and trapped in poverty. Are you prepared to let another decade pass in the same stagnant manner, watching your life drift by without progress? If you're already weary of this cycle, then congratulations, you've just awakened. Mission 2 calls for creating your financial map. You cannot triumph over what you don't comprehend, and far too many live in constant conflict with money without ever understanding it. They dread it, crave it, squander it, yet never take the time to study or master it. How can you expect to advance in a domain you don't even grasp? Consider Leah, a single mother in Puebla, who, for the first time, decided to meticulously track every peso that left her wallet. Through this effort, she uncovered that her money wasn't vanishing due to a meager income, but because of a lack of strategy. Small indulgences like cookies, taxi rides, and impulsive deals that, when tallied, unleashed a financial storm. Seeing it all laid out on paper was like standing exposed before a mirror, with no excuses or rationalizations, yet it opened a door to a new direction. Crafting a financial map isn't reserved for accountants. It's a profound act of self-respect and honor for your hard work. It's akin to sketching the blueprint for a home. If you lack one, every brick becomes a source of confusion, but with a plan and understanding, you can erect something enduring. Do you realize the immense power you surrender by remaining ignorant of where your money flows? Take on the challenge. Confront the numbers, because once you know where your money is going, you gain the authority to decide where your life will lead. Mission 3 focuses on eliminating toxic debt. Debt acts like invisible shackles. It's silent. It doesn't cause physical pain, but it robs you of peace, focus, and vitality, turning you into an unseen servant to banks, interest rates, and a life you no longer command. Meet Carlos, a technician from Monterrey, who juggled for credit cards and lived in perpetual dread every time his phone rang. He avoided his statements, pretending all was well, but internally, he was sinking until he chose to confront the beast head-on. With no illusions or avoidance, he cataloged every debt, every amount, every interest rate, and employed the snowball method. The path was arduous. He shed tears, faced frustration, and often felt inadequate, but he pressed on. When he finally cleared his last debt, he didn't just reclaim his money. He reclaimed his life, rediscovering the freedom to breathe without shame, to gaze at the future without terror, and to dream once more. Mission 4 introduces the emergency fund. What's more distressing than lacking money? It's the absence of a safety net when life unravels. In Latin America, most individuals teeter on the brink without even recognizing it. Take Rosa, a hairstylist from Tuxtla, who once lived paycheck to paycheck but committed to building an emergency fund with $1,000 pesos monthly. It wasn't a fortune, but it was a start. She hustled harder, sold more services, and forewent luxuries, and 6 months later, when her son fell ill requiring costly medication and a week off work, Rosa had her savings. She didn't need to borrow or sacrifice her pride. She paid, she cried, but this time, her tears were of relief. An emergency fund transcends mere money. It's about tranquility of mind, the ability to sleep soundly knowing you can endure a crisis, and the assurance that you're no longer as vulnerable as before. Begin today, even with $50 or $10. Every coin is a vow to yourself that you'll never live in fear again. Mission 5 explores extra sources of income. Many believe the only route to more money is through longer hours, but the wealthy understand a different principle. It's not about how much you toil, but how you make your money toil for you. Consider Mateo, a young man from Cancun who worked at a coffee shop, but used his spare time to teach English via videos. His setup wasn't flawless. He lacked a professional camera, but he possessed something rarer, initiative. Over time, he developed his own digital course, now earning far beyond his expectations. Was it luck? No, it was bravery. The obstacle isn't a lack of know-how. It's the belief you're incapable, that this opportunity isn't for you, that you need thousands of pesos to start. But what you truly need is the boldness to begin with what's at hand. Ask yourself, what skills do you have that others might value? What passion do you pursue for free that could be monetized? Are you ready to trade Netflix and social media for a chance at your own liberation? Extra income isn't just about boosting your earnings. It's about liberating yourself from the dread of what if, about forging options. And with options, you find true freedom. Listen closely. Your future isn't predestined. It's a blank page awaiting your pen. The encouraging news? You can start today. Your birthplace, your bank balance, or others' opinions don't define you. The only thing that matters is what you choose to do with what you have now. Success hinges not on what's happened to you, but on how you respond to it. Many spend years pointing fingers at their parents, the government, the education system, their employers, or their past. But here's the truth. Nothing shifts until you do. As Brian Tracy wisely stated, accept 100% responsibility for your life. No excuses, no grievances, no scapegoats. In that moment, a remarkable transformation occurs. You reclaim your power. As long as you let external forces dictate your path, you remain a victim. But when you seize control of your thoughts, habits, and choices, you become the architect of your destiny. Ask yourself right now, am I living the life I envision, or merely scraping by? Am I growing daily, or trapped in a loop of familiar errors? Am I making decisions that propel me toward my goals, or merely dodging the discomfort of change? Here's a harsh reality. The cost of success will always be lower than the cost of regret. You will pay a price either way. You can invest in effort, sacrifice, and focus, or pay the steeper price of looking back, wishing you'd acted sooner. Which path will you take? You possess talents, ideas, and gifts the world needs, but none of that matters without action. Success doesn't favor dreamers alone. It rewards those who act, who persevere, who refuse to quit. Decide today that you won't delay further. Don't wait for Monday, New Year's, or someone's approval, because no one is coming to rescue you. Yet, you don't need saving if you learn to rise on your own. Jot down your goals, commit them to paper, review them each morning, and take a step, however small, every day to draw closer. Every day matters. Every choice builds or erodes. This isn't about fleeting motivation. It's about a firm decision. If you commit to becoming your best self, nothing and no one can hinder you. Remember, it's not about luck, it's about choice. And starting today, you can choose to craft a life worth living. Begin now, for the ideal time was yesterday, and the next best is today.